Now, the Europa League final takes place tonight between London rivals Chelsea and Arsenal in an all-English final 2,500 miles from home. There is speculation that win or lose in Baku's Olympic Stadium, it could be Blues boss Maurizio Sarri's final game in charge. Sarri has had a turbulent first campaign at Stamford Bridge, frequently questioning the mentality of his squad and having a public fallout with Kepa Arrizabalaga during the Carabao Cup final. The 60-year-old has never won a major trophy as a manager, while his Arsenal counterpart, Unai Emery, has won this competition 3 times with Sevilla between 2014 and 2016. While Arsenal won the Europa League, while Chelsea won the Europa League in 2013, a year after their triumph in the Champions League, Arsenal have not clinched a European title since they won the now obsolete European Cup Winners' Cup in 1994. Unai Emery insists ending that 25-year wait is his first objective in Azerbaijan, despite the game also being his side's last chance of making next season's Champions League after a 2-year absence, with qualification likely to significantly increase their summer transfer funds. Now, it's a good time to spotlight the 2 managers, Unai Emery of Arsenal and Maurizio Sarri of Chelsea. Both end their first season at their respective clubs tonight. And to help us make sense of this, sports analyst Bolu Amani joins me now in the studio. Bolu, thank you for joining me today on Global Sports Report. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, same here.
Now, of course, we're all looking forward to this very exciting game, but let's start it off with the 2 managers, in the spotlight today. One has never won a trophy in his managerial career, and that is Maurizio Sarri. One has won this particular trophy 3 times. Who do you think will come out on top tonight?
If there's a man that knows the Europa League well, definitely it's Unai Emery because of his stance, his reputation, like with Sevilla, like you earlier said. But for Maurizio Sarri, he has never won a major trophy in his 29 years coaching career. In terms of this trophy, someone that does know the competition well, that's Unai Emery, but it's a different ball game. Sevilla is completely different from Arsenal. The way his team played under Sevilla is completely different from the way Arsenal team play. But you can't take anything away from the 2 guys up front, the Lacazette, the Aubameyang. But Unai Emery definitely knows how to set up this team. But Chelsea, they are unbeaten in this competition. Arsenal, we lost, I think, once. So these 2 teams are evenly balanced. And definitely the rivalry between them goes way beyond the Europa League, since Arsenal, both their teams from London. Definitely is going to be an interesting one. But with the problems in the Chelsea team, yesterday's training, Sarri left the training because of the rift between 2 players.
The fight between Higuain and David Luiz.
So definitely it looks like the camp is in shambles. Sarri, like you said, may leave for Juventus at the end of the season. Eden Hazard may also leave the club for Real Madrid, depending on what happens. So I think everything is falling in line for Arsenal. But any day Chelsea turn up, that means Eden Hazard will turn up. And when Eden Hazard turn up against any defense in the world, definitely the advantage is Chelsea. Now,
we've spoken about their 2 key men. I mean, the attack of Arsenal with Lacazette and Aubameyang. But are Chelsea going to miss N'Golo Kante? He is facing a late fitness test. He was seen training with a physio earlier on when they were training yesterday. But who are the key men in this particular fixture for tonight?
Any team would miss N'Golo Kante, be it Real Madrid, be United. Any team in the world football would miss N'Golo Kante. But the battle in the midfield now will probably be Jorginho against Torreira.
Yeah.
Remember when Chelsea lost form, Jorginho lost form, but when he got back to his form, the team got playing that pushed them to the Champions League. And for Arsenal, Torreira, immediately the manager dropped him, they had problems in the league. So that battle would definitely be an interesting one. But how will Christensen, who is coming, expected to come in for Rudiger, who got injured, and is pairing with David Luiz, going to compare to Lacazette and Aubameyang going forward? The next question is who would stand? I think it should be Maitland-Niles that will face Eden Hazard. When Hazard is on his day, no defender, no matter what you can do, will definitely face Hazard. So I think the battle could be one day the midfield. Who comes up for Arsenal in the midfield? We'll probably have Kovacic also for Chelsea and Ross Barkley. Whoever turns up for the 2 guys in the midfield. For Chelsea going forward, the midfielders will definitely supply balls for Eden Hazard. Same for Arsenal, the midfielders will be the one to supply the ball for the 2 guys up front. I think the battle is in the midfield. Whoever come out up tops in the midfield will definitely have more goals for their strikers.
Another point of contention for this particular game is the goalkeeping situation at Arsenal. Should Petr Cech, a former decorated Chelsea player, or Bernard Leno, the new, goalkeeper that Arsenal have, the future of Arsenal at the moment. But for Petr Cech, this is his last season. He will be going back to Chelsea for a lot more behind-the-scenes role when he retires officially from football. But should he play or should they stick with Leno?
I don't think anyone will change Unai Emery's mind on playing Peter Cech today because he said something earlier, I think.
But shouldn't sentiment be left aside and really it should be for football? Arsenal need a trophy. They need this match in order to qualify for the Champions League. So why do they want to give Peter Cech this, huge farewell or whatever? Because at the end of the day, if they lose due to a mistake from Peter Cech, it will really haunt a lot of people. Maybe some will say, oh, he did it because he still has love for Chelsea. Yeah. Exactly. So why shouldn't he picked based on form? Bernard Leno has been the one playing in the Premier League.
Unai said some players at the start of the season prefer to play in the Premier League and not Europa League. And now that they've gotten to semi-final and final, some of them are not showing the form we can do this. I think he's made up his mind on whoever he wants to play in this one. And he said something that Cech is a professional, he's a top goalkeeper. He does not stylishly say he does not expect him to be loyal to Chelsea. I actually feel the same way. He's a professional goalkeeper. He's been there. He's done that for years. I don't think going back to Chelsea would affect him. If something, he would want to prove them right. Okay, let me win this with this club for the last time before leaving. So I think he's going for Cech, and I don't think Cech will commit a blunder. But tomorrow, if he does commit a blunder, he will never be forgiven.
I don't think Arsenal fans will be happy about that. Now, another situation at the Arsenal camp is the loss of Mkhitaryan. Of course, due to some political tension between Armenia and Azerbaijan, he could not travel with. Will he be missed in this particular game?
Mkhitaryan has not been the best of players for Arsenal, at least this season. So I think, with his experience, he may be missed, but definitely lots of players can cover up for him. Iwobi can do a very good job if the manager decides to go for him. So I think for Mkhitaryan, everybody just trying to be passionate about his absence. But definitely there has been lots of games Mkhitaryan has missed for Arsenal this season, and they've won, even in the Europa League. So I think for Mkhitaryan, they would definitely replace him well. Whoever comes up for the manager will definitely do a good job.
What are your predictions for the game? Chelsea they've won this competition. Arsenal, even though they have the Europa League specialists, they've not won a European competition in a very, very long time, 25 years. Are this crop of players capable of actually delivering that European trophy? I mean, they've already started mocking them on social media. Arsenal have sent out a message closing down the street for their eventual parade if it does happen. Chelsea, on the other hand, have not done that. But what if Arsenal actually don't win? What are your predictions of this game?
I think you're putting me on a hot seat. I think I will go towards Arsenal a bit. But another player I think everybody is not talking about is Olivier Giroud. He's the joint top scorer in the top
absolutely, 10 goals.
And he's actually a former Arsenal player. He came out last week and said his blood is blue. So he's also wanting to come out.
Yeah. It's been how long? And the blood is already blue.
I think he also wants to probably pay back what Arsenal did to him. They didn't give him the chance in court. But I think it's going towards Arsenal a bit because Lacazette and Aubameyang, they both had behind the goal in, I think, about 18 goals, 13 goals.
But do you think Arsenal are actually stronger? They finished below Chelsea in the Premier League. So why would you go for Arsenal as opposed to Chelsea?
Because the problems in Chelsea of late, the transfer, the manager, the players' rift and everything, from what we are seeing in the camp of Arsenal, the only problem in the team right now is leaving Mkhitaryan at home. And the guys are really ready to rally for him, even though they wanted to support with shirts until UEFA stopped them from doing that. So I think they really want to win this tournament. They want to win it because they have a manager who's used to win it. They want to win it for Peter Cech, who is leaving the club. They want to win it for Mkhitaryan, who is not coming in. And they want to win it in case Tottenham win the Champions League.
Yeah,
so I think it's all twisting towards the direction of Arsenal, but you never can underrate Chelsea. You never can underrate any team that has Eden Hazard. But for my prediction, I think I'll tilt a little bit towards Arsenal.
Will Ozil show up tonight?
We never can tell what we'll get from Ozil. Ozil any day can just, when he's on form, the strikers will enjoy him. But when he's out of form, everybody will definitely complain.
We hope so. It should be an exciting one. I mean, I think everybody's looking forward to this one. This is the first of two all-English finals. I mean, what more can we expect? The downside about it is the atmosphere in the stadium might not be buzzing because it is expected that just 6,000 Arsenal and Chelsea fans will be at that particular game. Most of the other fans will be made up of neutrals, sponsors, and just a lot of... Is that probably a downside of this particular final as opposed to what we might see in the UEFA Champions League final?
I was going there, like the Champions League where they have tens of thousands of fans. This is not the same thing. And even the 6,000, we may not have every one of them. Remember, I think sometimes last week, the sponsors, everyone was complaining about flight issues. And Arsenal fans said they bought tickets over a year for something else, and now they've
Some fans said they spent 2 days actually driving. Some people left Sunday at midnight. You know, it was really difficult for a lot of people to get here.
I think for fans, we may not have the fans' atmosphere would have, but definitely it's a football match, it's a final. The stadium should be full due to the home fans. I think no matter what comes up, no matter what the fans do, I think the players would definitely enjoy themselves on the field.
Okay, last thing from you, score prediction.
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that. Okay,
no, you can't leave this place without telling me that.
The last time we saw an all-English team in the final, it went on to penalties. That was Chelsea Man U in the Champions League. I think this may also go down to extra time. All
right, let's see. Thank you so much, Bolu, for your analysis. It's been a pleasure having you on Global Sports Report. Now, stay tuned to Global Sports Report. We're heading for a short break. Plenty more still ahead. Stay with us. Now on to basketball. The Golden State Warriors may be used to playing in the NBA Finals, and they will get the opportunity to win a fourth championship in the last 5 years. But they will not have LeBron James attempting to stop them this time around. This is not necessarily a good thing, because the Eastern Conference champion Toronto Raptors have the explosive Kawhi Leonard and an excellent supporting cast in Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry as they attempt to bring the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy north of the US border for the first time in league history. The Raptors have been preparing for the NBA Finals, which begin on Thursday night in Toronto.
It's nice to get a couple of days, and obviously the conference finals is every other day, and so it's nice to get a couple of days in between to kind of decompress a little bit, try to rest any ailments you have, and recharge and refocus, and try to get ready for Thursday. So obviously we were on a pretty big high after closing the series out, but now we got to shift our focus towards Golden State. It's tough. It's tough to game plan for these guys. They've done it at a really high level for a long time now, and they play really well. And they're not a perfect team by any means, but they do what they do at a high level, and they don't leave you very much margin for error. And so you got to understand going out there, you got to be really locked into whatever our game plan is at the time, and just a mental focus that it's going to take to try to win against this team. Our mental focus has got to be at an all-time high. And, that's one thing that we just got to think about in the next couple.
And that is it from this edition of Global Sports Report here on Arise News. I'm Maureen Felukufeji saying goodbye.